This is me, the Grand Duchess Rasmus Koenen, also known as Ryan Tomlinson, broadcasting on 6/25, 2013 at 8:24 p.m. from Liberty Studios. Here. Let me show you a sign of Liberty Studios. Darling, that's as simple as you want it to be, or as complex as you want to make it, right? Guess what? Today, the thematic for the day. I watched a Travian Martin trial and talk about all kind of new information. There was a certain code, and we talk about it today. Code. Somebody said it's the code of. Well, I'd mention it. Code of operational behavior. How do we sometimes navigate ourselves around each other and around our busy little lives? Is it that serious? Are some of us more serious than others? And if some of us are not that serious, when should it be serious? How should we then start to draw lines and boundaries and so forth, in our little lives? I wrote one thing prior to thinking about that yesterday. It says, great countenance of men is a simple decision of serious consequences. That indecision belittle their strength and inhumanity, sentence them to incompetence. And when I think about the code of behavior and how simple some of the actions are and how they could have been redirected in a positive light and positive matter to enhance situation or the sheer ease of the situation, or to enhance the person's aura, the mood, or whatever it is. But we find that people are people and they are themselves, and they do little things that we don't understand why. Even 100 years from now, we'll wonder, why didn't they just put the milk on the table and call the child to the table? An example. And so therefore we go out figuring how to do simple little things that have no such consequence and no countenance, but because of their misactions they become big screen-like movie productions. And in other that, and what after the violation has occurred? How does it go on? How does it manifest itself in the person that was violated in this code? And in the person that was violated, do they see it as a violation? How do we discern what we should follow and what we should not follow? And who should determine that for us? When does it become simple and when does it become complex? You could use sexual harassment as one of those things. It is so vast now, the scope of it, that we have no idea. Sometimes people have no idea how to be polite, how to be nice to other, or when does friendship ends and professional relationship ends. In all that I said, to be lifted, one must be mindful enough to be carried, and one must have the wisdom to lift. So if there's something that you need to enhance, something that you're going to foster, why enter with that code of negativism? Why not live the code and exuberance to the joys of life to which we all are accustomed to? No, we're not all the same. We're not all the same countenance, character, strength. We're not all the same personalities. But there are certain little things we can do. I call them civility. That is the greatest code. But sometimes in civility, people are misjudged on your intentions, and sometimes that's just a fact of life. But the person wise enough to understand must be able to discern and must not be punitive. Must be able to say, give excuses when excuses are necessary, and must be able in themselves to assess each situation as it comes. Such is the life of a code, whatever code in it. But what these things do sometimes, right, living up to these irrational standards and these irrational behaviors, we get so complex with all these laws that we don't know where to start sometimes. And not that they are not irrational, they're there to protect some things and somebody, but sometimes in our daily work and existence we do not have the time to negotiate each and every contract, but we stick to the basics. The beautiful side of that, sometimes when people be nasty, when people are nasty, or not civil, and people bring out the worst of, okay, this was violated or this was not, and they look for every little nit to scratch. It's because the beautiful side of the other person is there is confidence. When there is confidence in ability and malleability and versatility, we find a lot of people talk about code and violation and blah 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 and ethics and so forth without thinking of the situation, because they're envious, punitive, and diminutive in their character. And on that, I say the beautiful side of confidence is it practices its codes with violation of discrimination. That's the beautiful side of confidence. It is so beautiful that when it's practiced, it's a violation to others that hates it. Hates the beauty, hates the sincerity of who you are and what you bring to that situation and how you bring it to the table. Not the way, may not be the standard way of seeing things or the standard way of doing things, but a beautiful way, another way, another idea, a fresh pair of eyes, a new perspective, perception, an old set of rules, because we all know what they are. And in that, I came with my final quotation of the day after thinking about that. Erased is the holes of greatness that cracked when obstacles of humanity collide. Cemented and concreted reality, then highlighted. And the holes of greatness, what are the holes of greatness? What a paradox. Holes of greatness. When we think of a hole, we think of something sinking or something, but an unfathomable hole, as rather than saying unfathomable heights. So dark, so vast, so expansive, so much potential. Where will you reach? How will you reach it? Are you able to jump off and to give the unlimited potential of your opinion, your idea, and your philosophy to your own everyday situation? In other words, are you able to let go of who you are and just completely relax and give the other people the benefit of their situation without it being a violation to you, a violation to how you live, a violation to who you are? Realizing that we're here all in this together. We're not fighting. We shouldn't be fighting against each other. We should be working towards those creeds that makes us who we are, as neighbors, friends, brothers, sisters, a nation, etc. Yes, and when those obstacles collide, when those obstacles collide, Ms. Grand Duchess Rasmus Conan, when those obstacles collide, I said when humanity collide, because in humanity a lot of things happen and a lot of things are said. When humanity collide and your best friend is your best enemy and the librarian is the killer and your nurse is Dr. Kevorkian without your consent, then you begin to wonder. That's humanity colliding, because it's not your judgment anymore. It's not your will, it's their will. It's their irrational behavior and irrational functioning. It's not something you want to uphold anymore. How they address you in public, or how they approach you, and how they think that you should be approached because of your need and your vulnerabilities. Yes, that's humanity colliding. I said, erased are the holes that cracked when the obstacles of humanity collided. Cemented, concreted reality, highlighted. And what is the reality of all that? The persecutory actions, the withdrawal of certain civil sanctions that make you who you are and how you operate, and even the comfort in your environment. But I say, with every code, there's another code, and one great code. Treat those the way you want to be treated. This is Misa Grand Duchess. Have a good